welcome to Ganesh Institute channel. So today we are going to discuss about structuralism. So far in aspects of language part we had discussed that what is language, how language is originated and how language is related with thought, right? And the linguists associated with that. We also covered those in last videos. Now in this video we are specially talking about structuralism in linguistics. Okay, and basically there are two sort of structuralism. One is European and other one is American. So here in this video I'm covering European one, and thereafter in next video I'll bring for you the American one. All right, so what is structuralism? Basically, structure. What is structure? It stands for, because it is in linguistic, that means associated with language. So it stands for a school of thought that developed in the 1960s to discover the main aim and meaning of human culture. Okay, it was given by Levi Strauss. All right. So as I discussed that there are two sort of structuralism, one is European and another one is American. So European one is given by Levi-Strauss and American one is by Bloomfield, and all those all those linguists who had come after Bloomfield are called post-Bloomfieldians. So that too we'll discuss in that section in our next video, right? So firstly, if we see what is structuralism, so there are so many definitions again, just like language definition of language. So one of them I have chosen. According to Lepsey, structuralism believes that the individual phenomena of human experience exist through the interconnections, not in isolation. You know, structure means you are designing something, you are providing a structure to something. That is structuralism. Here something is language, so for that you need some sounds like phonemes, you need the words made up of those sounds, then you need a sentence, you will apply grammar. So all these things come under the category of structuralism. So obviously it cannot stand alone, it cannot exist in isolation, right? So it comes in interconnections part. All right, now there are two sort of things, there are two things which we have to study. One is structures in structuralism, another one is functions of their structures, of those structures. All right, so let's begin. Firstly, as I told you in our last video, that Saucer has a major role in these linguistic sections. So when it comes to structuralism as well, Saussurian principles are there which are given by Ferdinand de Saussure. All right. So what are those principles? First one is Lang and Perol. Second one is the arbitrariness of the sign. Third one is the diachronic and the synchronic study of language. And the last but not the least, oppositional structure of language. So we are one by one going to study all of them. So firstly, Lang and Perol. All right. So I have made a table here for Lang and Perol so that you'd be able to understand it clearly. So Lang and Perol, as the name suggests, Lang, it's a part of language, right? This thing is given by the great Swiss linguist, as I told you, Ferdinand de Saussure. Okay. So firstly, what is Lang and Perol? A major question was asked in this year assignments. So you have to keep this in mind. This is important section. So according to Saussure, language is the whole field of linguistic activity. So for example, the broader category is language, and it consists of two things, which is Lang and Perol. So language is a system or structure. The part of language which has language structure is called Lang, and the part of language where you have to use the to give structure to that language, you need speech and writing. That is called parole. Okay, the basic difference is that lang is social and constraining. How? So lang is social because it is the possession of community of speakers. Okay, speakers speak it, and so and they can interact with people with it. So with that structure, so that is why it is social. Lang is social. And why it is constraining? Because once you give structure to particular thing, like you are using passive voice, the standards are already being taken, right? So now you cannot change them. So that's why it is fixed in nature. Lang is fixed. Or in contrast, if you see parole, because lang is social, so parole is individualistic in nature. It exists all alone because you have to give, you have to say something. You have known that okay, this is the structure of language. Now you have to speak, you have to write all by your own using those structure. So it is individualistic and it is free. I mean, parole is willful. An individual can act as individual, and it is free to an individual is free to form it. Okay, moving on to next part, the arbitrariness of the sign. I'm hoping that you all have come across my last video. You have checked it out, I hope so, where I discuss this topic, arbitrariness of the sign. Let's say if I say a word tree, so what image comes into your mind? So that image is called concept or signified, whereas the word, the label which someone has given it, that is signifier. So we can name anything, right? We can name any object, anything, but once that is chosen, it has to be taken forward, right? We have to stick with it. Now, this is called arbitrariness. That there is no natural connection between sound, image, that means the concept which you are having in your mind, and the label. Got you? See, one thing you have to keep this in mind, that sound image, though it is showing image, but it is sound image. So in tree, the sound image is what I am saying, TREE, tree. Whereas the concept is that picture which comes into your mind. Okay, so that is signified, and signifies tree. Moving on to next part, which is the diachronic and synchronic study of language, which is very important. So basically, in synchronic thing, we focus on structure of a language. We study how linguistic system perform and formed in a particular state at a point of time. Okay, and this is psychological. It relates with our mind. We are studying it based on its structure. However, in diachronic part, it is all about language is formed now in this section. Now you have to study how it is formed, what changes are made to it, evolution, the changes, successions of language, how it is related with the previous one. So this is diachronic part. Okay. Next, Saucer gave another principle, which is oppositional structure of language. Just before 2 slides, I told you arbitrariness of sound, right? So I told you that there is no natural connection between sound, image, and concept. You can give any name to anything, right? So don't you think this suggests oppositional structure? The signs that make up a language stand in opposition to each other, right? As we saw in arbitrariness of the sign, as I told you earlier as well. So in this as well, I have made a tabular form. So you can see there are two things which you have to keep in mind: syntagmatic and paradigmatic. Very important. So syntagmatic structure of language means a linear relationship if you see, I'm writing a word cat. Now in cat, the phoneme, as I told you in the first video of this section, that phonemes are sounds, the units of sound. So this is made up of three phonemes: k, a, t, right? So here for cat, it is k. The relationship is linear. The relationship between the sounds k, a, and t is linear. Whereas in paradigmatic, you will find associative nature of phonemes. For example, if you have cat and the first letter is having sound, phoneme k, 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 and in bat, if you replace it from C to B, then it will form b sound, bat. Then in MAT, it's mo sound. So you will see that cat, bat, and mat, there is no linear relation. In fact, they have associative nature. That means two phonemes are not taken from the same word. Does this make sense? So this brings us to next step, which is saying that syntagmatic means presentia relation. That means only those phonemes which are present in a word or in a sentence. Whereas in paradigmatic, we also talk about the absent phonemes. Okay, like cat, there is no B in it, but we are comparing it with another word, bat and mat. So now absentia is there. Similarly, it also goes in syntactic level as well. If you take an example of a sentence where two or more words are there, so John likes fruits, you will see that the relationship between John likes and fruits is linear, a straight line. Whereas in paradigmatic, if you, in this example, John likes fruits, if you displace John with Mary, Tom, and the boy, then also the structure will remain same. Then we can say John, Mary, and or Tom or the boy are associative in nature. There is paradigmatic relationship. All right. So moving on to our part, I hope you are getting it. Now, many linguists found that Saussure principles were very helpful in designing, and they were definitely fitting in all the aspects which they were discovering or disclosing. So they have taken some things and called it the Saussure heritage. Okay, so there are two things in it, which is discovery, procedure, and distribution. To follow the Saussure principles, one needs to keep this in mind, and there are two things to give structure of any language. First is discovery. What sort of linguistic elements are there in that language? So analyze them. And secondly, the distribution. That, okay, how they are given order and what is their position, what you are taking into consideration. Okay, so if I give you an example of discovery procedure, you will see that if, let's say, in John likes fruits, right, we displaces some of the elements, right? So you are discovering that which, if, let's say, if I say John likes fruit, if you displace John with you, will it go same? No, because you likes fruit is not correct. You like fruit is correct. So now you have to discover that whether after displacing the linguistic elements, is it going right? Are those are those grammatical principles are used into it? Used into it? Does this make sense? Moving on to next thing, which is, structuralism, and that too American structuralism in perspective of American thing, but we will discuss it in our next video. Till then, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel. We'll see each other in next class. Take care. Bye.